Coming up on UPH, these two gumshoes pick up the slack.
He can leap tall buildings in several bounds.
Oh no, Soggies!
So many shields, so little time.
And more on this episode of Unbelievable Power Hour.
My mother risked her life for me, and now you too. I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Unbelievable Power Hour, your mind-blowing source for gaming previews, news, and adventure. I'm Dan DeHaan, and with me as always is...
Aaron Wiesinger.
Well, top of the morning to you, Aaron.
Hello.
Have you gotten a shamrock shake in Korea?
I have not sought one out. I was disappointed sorely last time I had one, so it's not in my meal repertoire.
Oh, was this the first time you had one? Or was
No, like the last time I was in the US and I was excited because I finally got one again.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. So.
Was it that particular shamrock shake, or was it I misremembered how delicious this actually was?
No, it was way too much vanilla and then weird flavor in there. It was not the minty, joyous wonder that I remembered from my childhood.
I have not had one in forever.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had a shamrock shake. I used to really look forward to this time of year because the shamrock shakes were out. And then it was I really can't have shamrock shakes or any type of shake in my diet regularly because they are just a giant get fat beverage. Ice creamy, delicious
huge
beverage.
Cups of sugar.
Yes, sugar and fat. So how's your week, stupid? Start with the insults right away.
Wow, thanks. Gotta come back from that. My week was good, except for the end of the week, and we were talking about earlier, I am sick again.
Oh.
You can probably tell my voice is kind of funky today. Actually,
I thought it sounded a little bit more sensual. And I wondered why you were doing that.
A little husky. Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I think especially this week, we're doing a lot of introduction stuff with the third graders who are probably the most germ-filled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so shaking a bunch of kids' hands and stuff like that, and yeah, not getting enough sleep, all that combined.
See, the way I imagine it, when you describe these kids, they sound like Pigpen from the Peanut series, and they just have dirt lines and everything going out.
Just covered in mud.
Teacher, hug me. You are drenched in dirt and germs and disease.
But I noticed the same kind of thing happened when I first started working at the middle school. Was I got sick several times, within the first few months. And really badly sick. There was one time I got sick for a month and a half.
What?
And yeah. So I think it's just being in these unfamiliar environments, and I mean, especially in my case, not sleeping that much, just doing so many other things. But
wow,
yeah,
man, I think the worst I haven't really been sick this year at all. The worst was 2 years ago. I had the is it the rotavirus, or it's some female name virus, and you just like you're feeling fine. All of a sudden, your stomach feels a little weird, and then you just start vomiting violently, and then you're passed out. And it lasts 3 days, and then it's gone.
Amazing.
So, yeah. I don't like getting sick,
terrible.
but thankfully, I don't get sick that often.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that I got sick that much when I was in the U.S.
No.
No.
I'll have to check my logs.
You've got it all written down.
Yeah.
So that kind of led to me having a non-weekend. You know, I slept all day yesterday and then a lot of today.
16 hours, you said.
Yeah.
That's a long time to sleep. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. Well, it was like when I get sick like this and my head kind of gets stuffed up, it kind of leads to getting a migraine. So then, I'm sick with a migraine. And when you have a really bad migraine, we've talked about before, like all you want to do is like not
puke.
be awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just slept and slept and slept.
I this week have started
Debbie
a new
Downer.
I've started a new adventure this week.
What's that?
I'm trying to go caffeine free.
Wow. How much caffeine would you say you consume in a day? Well, your new caffeine-free lifestyle.
I don't know. I usually only have like 1 cup of coffee, maybe 2 cups of coffee a day.
Okay.
Like I'll have a morning cup, and then if I have class or whatever, I'll have mid-afternoon cup.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
That's not too bad. I will usually do the same. I'll have a big cup that I make here in the morning, and then when I'm at school, I have all my classes in the morning, and then to like try and keep myself awake during the afternoon. After lunch, I'll have another cup.
I actually don't really like coffee that much. I'm a cold beverage kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I would prefer like a Coke in the morning, a delicious Coke. Yeah.
See, I always thought my friend Ryan was weird for doing that. He would always have a Diet Coke.
It's actually a very large percentage of people that have Diet Coke in the morning over coffee. I want to say like 30%.
Yeah.
Is that my estimate? Yeah. Over coffee.
Yeah.
Or I prefer like a Frappuccino. That's another thing.
Okay.
But they're kind of high in the calorie content. And
yes.
So, yeah. But it's going to be a new adventure, and we'll see how long I last.
Yeah.
But my mom does it. She does no caffeine.
No caffeine.
Yeah. So it's like, it gets a little like, oh, is that coffee decaffeinated? That kind of thing. You have to do that. Like it's almost, it's not quite as bad as going gluten free or something like that, but it's almost like that.
So, I mean, does she actively stays away from caffeine then?
Yes. And you can see like if she suddenly drinks caffeine, it's like she starts to panic a little that she's starting to trip.
So you could say she's very sensitive to it.
Yes. And it's like, you just have to start talking her through the high of caffeine.
Oh, wow.
Just go with it. Just relax. You'll be okay.
That is intense.
Don't fight it. I'm exaggerating, of course.
So do you think that you inherited some of that like caffeine sensitivity? Like when you take your first sip, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
I do think I have, and that's why I'm kind of like doing a little experiment with getting rid of it, because I wake up like I wake up pretty early. I only get maybe 5-6 hours of sleep, of like good sleep, probably 5 hours of good sleep. Yeah. And then after that, it's just like toss and turn. My brain shuts on. My brain turns on instantly the moment I wake up. And so I'm trying to like see if cutting that will, at least get me some more time in a deep REM cycle sleep.
Right. But you're not talking just coffee. You're talking like no more Coke, no more.
That's right. I'm talking all the stuff. I'll eat chocolate. Doesn't chocolate have caffeine?
A little bit.
I'll probably have some chocolate. I love chocolate. I I love.
See,
my
I just
Dove.
love the taste of caffeine. I love coffee, so even if like decaf tasted the same as caffeinated, I wouldn't really care.
You know what I
like
hate? Coffee breath. That is the
that
worst.
is gross. That is nasty.
Ugh. All right. So did you play any games this week?
No.
Me either. Well, Little Words with Friends. That's about it.
Yeah. Just some phone games and messed around.
So what'd you play?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bah.
No, I continued my WoW series and played quite a bit of that, keeping that up, and it's fun. I really sort of remember why I got into the game.
Yeah.
So hardcore a while ago. But it's weird, like in this spot, because if you watch like some of my my Let's Play videos, as a healer, it's very inactive. Like most of the time, it's pretty slow, and then sometimes you'll get into really intense situations where it's like, oh god, like
I gotta make sure people.
Yeah, like it gets really tight with watching their green bars go down, then you get a heal off right in time. So it's much different.
It is a support position.
Very much so, yeah. I think that's why it's easier to find like damage dealers, because it's a more active role in dungeons and stuff like that, and you're at the forefront of the action. Even if you're a mage and you're still toward the back of the lines, you're still like constantly casting and doing something. But not
it's
always
like,
as much.
And it's like you can say, I totally killed that guy, whereas you were like, I totally healed you while you were killing that guy.
I allowed you to live.
oh man, that's some great healing you did back there. I just want to.
I usually don't get those messages at the end like, oh man, I just can't thank you enough
for the healing you did. Yeah.
But, I mean, it is important. Like if you get a bad healer in a group, not to say that I'm good, but if you get someone who has no idea what they're doing, then it really frustrates the poop out of people.
Well, what determines if you know what you're doing or not? Like
if people are just like constantly dying, pretty much. Like
yeah, but maybe you have
is,
stupid people that are aggroing, mobs and mobs of.
For sure, like that's definitely something that can happen, but yeah. Anyway, it's a new position for me.
Do you have to consider the spells you're casting, and when is the right time to cast this spell versus that spell?
Yeah, there are a lot of instant cast spells that are maybe a little more mana expensive, and so. But the thing that I've really started noticing more and more in these later, or at least the ones since I started playing, like you used to have to really be careful about your mana usage and the mana cost of spells.
Yeah.
Like back when I was really into it. And now, like, I don't care. Like, I don't even look at the mana bar. And I've never even come close to being like, oh man, I'm gonna run out. Like I need a potion to mana up.
A mana bar sounds delicious.
I'm pretty sure they have those. Like they have the energy drinks that are the blue and the red ones for the health and mana.
Oh, yeah. Do they really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, watching your video this week, I definitely started getting that craving again for playing WoW, and then instantly finding out that I made the mistake of playing it again. I just don't like this.
Did you play it again then?
No, I didn't. I got the craving, but I resisted.
Oh, yeah.
I am not I'm not a slave to my addictions, Aaron, like you.
I would like to say that I broke free of my addiction.
Oh, all right.
I'm playing again, but nowhere near what you remember.
I wasn't really speaking to anything specific. I was just speaking in general.
You should remember me, though, like obsessing about it all the time.
You didn't talk about it that much, though. I remember that you played it a lot, but I don't remember you weren't talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
So
I think because people who talk about it all the time bug me.
yeah.
I mean, not in this context, but like when you go to a restaurant and there's like a group of 5 guys like shouting at each other about like World of Warcraft theories and like what they did in that raid last night, and the whole entire restaurant can hear them.
What?
And
Where?
yes, that has
What
happened.
restaurant
Like
are you
Applebee's.
going to?
I mean, just anywhere.
I've
It's
never
happened
heard someone
several times.
shouting about World of Warcraft
Okay,
in their
I'm
raid.
a little, not literally shouting, but talking loudly enough so that it's like, that's a bit much.
Okay, I've never even heard anyone whispering to each other about World of Warcraft in a restaurant.
Then you are eating at the wrong restaurants, my friend.
I don't go to Applebee's, I will say that. Maybe that's just the crowd there.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, I don't like that. It's the same kind of thing where you see like the stereotype of comic book guy,
Yeah.
like the greasy, gross dude, whatever. Like
you don't
I
like
don't want
the
to.
uber nerd in any genre.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
understand that.
I'm a super big nerd, but I don't like to like force it on other people.
I have been to a sports bar where everyone was like, "Oh man, did you see me heal that guy in our raid?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What else did you play this
So-
week?
So that was WoW. I played a lot. Actually, I think I probably played more Saints Row than WoW.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played maybe 12 hours
Holy cow.
of Saints Row this week.
This week?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid.
I don't think I got 12 hours of gaming in the entire week, let
Winner.
alone for one game.
Well, I only had like the excuse me, the 2 main games that I was playing this week. So, but yeah, I mean, the last episode I mentioned it, and I played about an hour and a half. But yeah, I wanted to have a more full understanding and some good playtime with it.
Sorry,
But
I
it was,
found a fuzzy on my mic.
Okay, that was weird. So yeah, Saints Row 4 is really fun. I like how it kind of borrows from a lot of other not genres, but like it does some Star Wars references, some Blade Runner stuff, like with the different, like you can customize your guns and like you can upgrade them to do more damage, be more accurate, stuff like that. But then there's like you can do just a sort of like a skin on top of that.
Yeah.
And so like for the heavy pistols, of course I love me some Firefly, and they have the pistol that Malcolm wears.
Oh, really?
For like one of the heavy pistols, and they take like the same sound effect for that pistol.
Oh,
and
that's
they use
cool.
it. Yeah, so like they have that, and then for one of the other guns, they have I don't know what it's called. It's one of the pistols from Blade Runner, but it's a very distinctive look to it. Like
Yeah,
a sort of
I
snub
know that.
nose.
That pistol looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah. I love Blade
So
Runner.
yeah, they do some like really cool little additions like that. With all the weapons are customizable.
Did they do
to some
that
extent like
in the other Saints Row games?
Yes, but not with those kinds of skins.
Yeah.
It was more like you would upgrade it and it would change the look of the weapon a little bit. But yeah, not like that.
So
And,
they did have all the references to like Star Wars and stuff like that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they did like those kind of references so much.
I started playing Saints Row 3 and I just open world games like that I don't get into. I just end up getting like paralyzed in the amount of things that you can do. So I just start wreaking havoc for about a half hour and then I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I've had my fill.
And I just the missions, the mission types and stuff like that I never really enjoy.
Yeah.
So
There are definitely some that like I'm like, oh god, I got to do another hacking mission. And there's a bunch of hacking missions.
Now the one that I did get into the most, though, Red Dead Redemption. That one was
Yes,
darn good.
that game is really cool.
Mr. Marston.
I think I only got through the first act because like there is a ton of side questing you can do.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's like the first thing that I do in all those games. I want to like side quest and like level my character up before I move on in the main storyline. And so I did that for like 30 hours. And then I moved on to the next act. And it was like, holy shit, like there's still a lot more to this game that I haven't even touched.
I think I'm like a third the way through on it. I can't remember if something came out that pulled me away from it.
Yeah.
But I played a lot of it. I liked it. I played a little bit of the online too. So I hope they come out with a sequel to that soon.
Yeah. I would actually like to just finish that game.
Yeah,
I know.
I do consider popping it back in, and there's always like relearning controls though for some games, and it's just like, all right, how do I do this? Because you can't do the tutorial again since you're so far into the game. Right. So it's like, oh, what is this again?
Yeah.
What is PP Reaper of Souls? I think you mentioned this before.
Pre-purchased. I didn't play this. This is just
okay. When I said PP, I was like, what is PP?
PP Reaper of Souls.
Okay, you pre-purchased.
Pretty Princess Reaper of Souls.
So you pre-ordered it, huh?
Yeah, so I got that, and we're gonna start cranking out some bids in a couple days because it is releasing in 2 days.
Yeah. What did you get for the pre-order?
I just got the standard package. I didn't get the like digital deluxe.
Oh,
where you get, like,
I thought there was some promo or something where you could get some sort of loot or something for.
There was like an armor edition. Like you get some like different angel wings or something you can wear, something like that.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yay!
No. Yeah.
No, not really.
So you're pumped about that, huh?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I think I want to just restart a game with one of the new classes and play through some of that.
Now, don't you have to beat the game, though, to be able to go on to the Reaper of Souls content?
I'm not sure. But I have several times, so...
Oh, okay. So you're good.
Yeah. But you didn't beat the game?
I haven't yet. I actually was going to fire it up today and play.
Yeah.
I've been getting the hunger. I want to finish it at least once.
Who were you playing with?
I have a warrior that I'm using right now. Okay. What have you played with?
I played with all of them. I got the highest on my wizard, and I played a lot with the warrior as well. Actually,
I like the warrior. I like his whole demeanor. He's
I like doing the kind of like back and forth. My first choice is always doing the mage, which is very like damage heavy but can't take a hit, and then I like to switch off and do kind of the opposite and play the warrior style.
So did you play anything else?
Just like that one phone flight game, and aside from that, like I said, I put a lot of hours into Saints Row 4 this week. Wow. I'm gonna upload a let's play video, and I'm gonna do a few more of those this week. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
We'll be doing some console Let's Plays coming up too. I got myself an Elgato game capture device, and
that's gonna be awesome.
We'll be doing some PS4, some Wii U, maybe some PS3. I haven't played my 360 in forever, so I don't know that I'm ever going to do anything with that.
Yeah.
I played a game that is currently in it's still in alpha on Steam. And it's Space Base DF9. It's a Double Fine game that's going to be coming out. Not sure when the release date is, but it is kind of a city builder in a way, strategy game. But you're in space and you've just teleported to this area, or you were sent to this area that you need to start building a space station.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna like it. There's still some stuff that seems a little flaky with it. I mean, it is still in alpha. I think it's alpha 4 right now. But I have had a little bit of fun with it so far. I like the interface. I think though, you just don't know at this point where it's going to go. You start out by building, you need to build an airlock, and you need to build like a life support system that will, start pumping oxygen through the space station. And it's kind of cool because you start out with only 8 minutes of oxygen in your spacesuits. You have 3 people that get out of a pod, and they both only have 8 minutes. And so you have to build, enough to sustain them, within that 8 minutes. And it actually is very, very tight. You have to, if you build, because you can choose how many spaces the room will spread. So you can build like an 8x8 room or a 4x4 room.
Yeah.
If you build it
but
too
where
big,
do you get this material?
If you build it too big, it'll take too much time. So you have to get all that spacing and everything right.
Right. But like you just beam, excuse me, you just beam in with nothing, right?
Well, I mean, they have the tools to build stuff. I guess that's
okay. Right. I mean,
but
is
yes,
there a lot of like
there.
resource, like management, like sort of mining stuff and getting the materials?
Yes,
to build,
you will have to. You start out with so much of the material that you can use to build, and then you also have to build like a refinery that you can start mining the asteroids that are nearby.
Okay.
To get more material to keep building.
Yeah.
Like last night I was playing and excuse me, I noticed like a little weird thing. I don't know if it was a bug or what, but all of my guys were like stuck in a room, and one was stuck in the airlock, and he was trying to get into the room. The door would open to the airlock, and then he'd get sucked back in. I don't know what was going on. That's the thing. It's like there are weird little things that go on that you have no idea what is going on, and there's no real. You get some notifications and things like that, but it doesn't give you enough information to know. It's kind of just like you're figuring it out as you go.
Yeah.
And I watched some Let's Plays on it, and that gave me some of it, an idea, but otherwise it was like you're kind of just left to you're on your own to build what you need to build.
Right.
And I think that's got to be just because it's in alpha.
Right. And I guess that's what usually sort of scares me about buying some of those games that are in alpha is like, they're not always cheap. Like when we got, oh God, what was it? The Starbound.
Yeah, Starbound.
That
Bound
was
for the stars.
Yeah, like 15, was it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was 15.
I think something like that. And that was still in beta.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a finished game. And I've been noticing like a lot of these green light games are like, get the alpha, and you're paying like pretty much what they're going to ask for full price for the game, I believe.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're paying to be in the beta, basically. It's
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it either. It's because paying for an unfinished game just seems weird.
Right. I guess I was like just hoping for a little more of a discount on some of these games that you're giving a chance and it's not finished.
Yeah, I don't think I'd mind paying to be in a beta, to pay to be in an alpha if I was getting it at a discount.
Right.
But yeah,
But so far so good?
Yeah, I can look at it and say, all right, I understand these little glitches and these things that are missing, but I'm really going to like this game when it comes out, as when it goes gold.
Right.
It's so far they've got a good thing going. I think the interface is really cool. The graphics are nice. It looks like it'll be a really fun game. I feel like it has a little bit of that Space Quest. Like it's probably going to have that sense of humor as well, and a lot of different races and things like that. So I look forward to that when that comes out.
Yeah, and that was Double Fine, you said, right?
Yeah, Double Fine.
Yeah,
and I like
so
too how their little logo, they change up for every game. Like this one has an alien head and then like a different alien head. You know that Double Fine logo with the two-headed creature? Yeah, so they changed that up for every game. I like that.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
What were you going to ask?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, at least with Double Fine, it's not like a totally new publisher. And so when you do get these games that are like early stage, like alpha, beta, like at least you know they're going to finish it. Like most likely they will finish it.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of history behind it.
Yeah, they've got some pedigree.
Yeah.
I also played a bunch of Hearthstone this week since it's out of beta, and I spent money on some cards as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I bought about $10 worth of cards, and Brittany spent about $10, on cards. So, yeah, I like it. I also did the arena for the first time this week, and I lost all three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brittany
right
did not. Brittany won one of hers. Yeah, I know.
Nice.
So I was like, wow. She beats
I think
me.
she is a good card player.
I think so too. Yeah, she's pretty good at it, and she beats me consistently. For a second there, I was like, I wonder if I'm a bad card player. and then she went into the arena and won. I believe it was her second match she won.
Yeah.
So she still has her arena streak going. So we'll see what the prizes are then for her. Oh, that's cool. Did. When I lost the arena, I ended up getting a pack of cards, and then there was like some sort of blue mana like stuff.
Okay.
And I
think that's the arcane essence.
And is that for like building your own cards and stuff? Do you need that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered.
Okay.
So it's a really good game. I can't wait for it to come out on iPad.
Yeah.
It's well balanced. It's fun, and I'm not sure which character I prefer yet, though. Which class? I'm still trying to sort that out.
Yeah, I feel like the same way, like playing through, because it really does feel like I know it's a card game, but it does feel like playing as a mage or a warrior or a druid or whatever. Like they really captured that well. So I sort of like to bounce around a little bit between like my mage and some of my other characters.
Yeah, I just unlocked the druid and another one, but I liked playing with the druid too. So I'll see how that goes. Yeah. I also, speaking of card games, I'm back into Ascension now.
What brought you back?
A friend invited me to play, and Brittany and I play every now and then. But Ascension is a card game that it's actually an analog card game, and it had been converted to the iPad as well, and that's what we play it on. Yeah. But you have one deck of cards that you're playing with, and it's a large deck, and it's kind of like it's a deck building game. So you are building your deck larger and larger, drawing from a tableau of cards that are in front of you. So you're building up kind of like a currency of money, or you're also battle points. And so you're either defeating monsters or you're buying cards that, help you either draw more cards or buy more cards. And it's a lot of fun. It's made by the same guy that created Magic the Gathering. Yeah. But it's self-contained. They do come out with expansions for it, but it's not going to be a matter of if you play someone else, they might have different cards. It's you guys are all playing from that same pool of cards, much like Dominion. Right. So, but it's just a game I'll keep going to. They had another expansion come out that was like $5 or something like that. So it's just a game that I'll always continue to play, and it's great for the iPad. If someone has an iPad, play Ascension.
Yeah, it is. That was I think the first card game that I played on the iPad. Because like you said, there is like a real world version of it, but that's how I got to know of it. And a lot of people that I know, like they didn't know of the actual like paper card game,
Yeah.
but through the store they picked it up.
Well, it became pretty well known because they did such a great job at designing the iPad version.
Yeah.
That it got a lot of praise because of that interface. So I think that's why it kind of gained more popularity through the iPad than necessarily the actual card game.
Yeah.
And they have Ascension tournaments at Gen Con that you can play in. Yeah, Gen Con is usually, I believe it's in August in Indianapolis. And I've yet to go. I've wanted to go, but I always have stuff going on in August, whether it's, filming weddings or tennis tournaments and stuff. So I never really get a chance to go.
Right.
But yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah. Is that still actively being like supported with new expansions?
Oh yeah. Yep. One just came out this month.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's good.
Ew.
And the last thing, a game that I picked up this week, Sim City.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like from way back.
No, like the new one.
Oh.
Because it's, it's been a little controversial of a game, and they just came out with the single player offline mode.
Yeah.
This game's been out like
a year.
Which
they insisted that was impossible.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I know that we've made like 5 games prior to this one, but suddenly it's impossible.
Yeah. Can't do it.
That ability has been taken away. So I've only played through the tutorial. I'm probably going to play a little more this week. But I was just, once I saw that single player came out, I was like, all right. And it was on sale. So I got it for $20. I'm like, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time to try out the Sim City.
That was such a CF when that came out. If you know what I mean.
Oh.
No. A cluster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They continue to have CFs.
Yeah. That EA owns Maxis, right?
I don't know if they own Maxis, but they might.
Something,
but either way,
right.
they publish for Maxis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they did a really terrible job with everything, like from the get-go, and everyone was so excited about it. But then when they insisted that everything had to be online, and the servers like couldn't handle any of it, it was just garbage.
Yeah, and see, I don't have a bad taste in my mouth because all I did was hear the news on it. I didn't actually, I wasn't affected by it, so I've waited.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got into it and played a little bit, and everything runs smooth as butter. So, hopefully I will have a good time of it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Want to hear some music? Okay. Here. All right, everybody. It is time for news with Dan and Aaron. Your chair's squeaking.
Sorry.
So we've got
Scoot forward.
This first story is pretty interesting. There's been some studies about how much people actually complete their games. Do they finish their games, especially in particular story-driven games? And not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Yeah. I don't think it's that weird. I think most people have short attention spans like me.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of these are really weird. Like others I can understand. But I think some of these are really weird.
I agree with you there. For instance, only 66% of people that started playing The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1 finished it. They only finished 66% finished Episode 1. What is that, an hour and a half, maybe?
Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Mass Effect 2 is probably a pretty long game.
It's a long game.
To have a 56%, half the people that played it finished it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. Or Bioshock Infinite, same thing.
Yeah, big game.
Portal, that's a short game.
Yeah. Portal's like three, maybe 4 hours. I know I finished it in an afternoon when I first got it.
And I'm somebody who I'm someone who likes to taste games. I'm a game taster, not a tester.
We love to taste games on Unbelievable Power Hour.
And so that's something I enjoy. So that's why I don't finish a lot of games. There's some games that sink their teeth into me, and that I want to complete and make sure and complete. Like Last of Us was one of those. And there's been some other ones, but there's some games where I'm just like, I just want to taste this.
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't buy games then.
I don't think so.
Should probably just rent them.
There needs to be some sort of rental program for you.
But I'm also a collector. And it's always been a thing, is I like to collect, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
So when I go in there and see my Steam account and how big it is, on my Steam library, it's like, I'm a collector and a taster.
At least you know.
At least
you're aware.
At least I'm not like some weird serial killer or something, because then
you collect games, not bodies.
Yeah, and taste games, not
the other thing.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting story. You know, they say that statistically most players don't finish games. And I think it's cool that they're seeing the numbers. Like, it's kind of creepy, you know, if you're someone who's creeped out by that stuff, that, you know, it's reported back to them.
Wait, what do you mean?
Whether they finish the game or not. Or was this a survey? I don't think the story says whether it's a survey or not.
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, a lot of these, I understand, like, I finished Borderlands 2. I didn't finish Skyrim. Like, Skyrim, I kind of got too lost in some side questing stuff.
I am almost done with Skyrim. I haven't finished it, but I am almost done. Oh, really? Yeah. I think I'm like 85% through the game.
See, I barely touched, like, the main story quests. I just kept doing whatever I felt like.
And that's all I did was the main story.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have to, because otherwise I won't finish it if I start doing all the side quests.
Yeah. Which, like, it sort of bugged me, but at the same time, like, that game really lends itself to being whatever you want to make of it.
Yeah.
So, like, I put the amount of time you probably would finishing the game into doing just what I had a good time with.
So, like, I have to be careful with Assassin's Creed 4, because if I keep putting all the time into, I'm going to find all the collectibles, all the things that are on the side and all that stuff, I'm probably never going to finish it. But I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm pushing myself.
Yeah.
So, also this week, in the news, as far as fat cat Caucasian men leaving their large corporations. Mark Whitten, the chief product officer of Xbox, has left after serving 14 years with Microsoft.
Yeah.
So he helped launch all 3 Xbox consoles.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I have to wonder if there's going to be some sort of Caucasian fat cat large corporation gathering of minds. Yeah. You know, after Jack Tretton left.
Yeah. Do you think they just decided, like, it's time for all of the fat white guys to get out of their position? Like, move along. I think Mark and Jack are going to start a podcast called Fat Cats. I hope so.
Video game Fat Cats. With Mark and Jack.
Yeah. It's just a kind of weird that, you know, Jack Tretton just stepped down, and now Mark Whitten. I think I can't remember who the other big player was stepping down in some other company, but yeah, it just seems in the last couple of weeks it's been a rash of people leaving their companies they've been at for a really long time.
You know who needs to step down is someone from Nintendo.
Yeah,
because they're dumb.
A bit of a shakeup.
Yeah, they need to get their heads out of their butts.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Just imagine if they were to put like Animal Crossing on your phone. That would explode. Animal Crossing sold over 7 million copies.
Really?
Yeah. That's amazing. But imagine if it was on the phone, and that would be a more amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. But they won't do that because they love their hardware. They do.
Right.
So
it's sort of perfect for that too, because like there's all the things you have to wait at, like you can only do so many things at like one time, then you have to wait a few hours.
Yeah.
Like for things to regrow.
Yeah.
So it's very much like games that already exist on the phone.
Yeah. Except better than those games. So it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Also this week, we talked last week about Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having a controller. Well, it turns out this week in the news, they're going to be coming out with a set-top box. One that looks a little bit like the Chromecast, similar to that, that streams games.
Yeah.
You called it. Heard it here first, everyone. No, you didn't. So
yeah,
I don't know how this is gonna be.
I mean, it seems kind of cool, and I think like at some point in the future, this will be like how games could potentially be delivered, like just streaming everything once the like networking infrastructure is there.
Yeah,
and like there's no reason to have anything but this little dongle that you plug in, and then everything is just streamed, and you have a controller.
They say it's going to stream full PC game titles.
Yeah.
Is Angry Birds a full PC game title?
I don't think so. I'm guessing they're thinking things like Assassin's Creed.
My point being that, you know, that doesn't really say much.
Right.
A full PC game title could be, you know, indie games are full PC game titles.
Could be anything.
Yeah. You know, I have trouble with the Chromecast though. It started like, I don't know if it overheats or what, but it started making my TV like flicker on and off and stuff like that. And so I had to pull that thing out.
Yeah.
I don't use it anymore because of that.
Huh.
And it was just like, hey, here's $35, Google.
Yeah. Never mind.
So
I'm not going to use it.
I'm really not interested in the Amazon thing though at all.
Doesn't do it for you. Even with that controller.
Oh, even with that sweet boxy controller.
Look at that thing.
That lacks any shape at all. You know, this week too, it looks like the PlayStation Network is going to start airing original TV. That's kind of the trend now. People like doing that. You have to have original programming.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be some sort of crime drama that they're going to release, and it's called Powers.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's I haven't read any of it, but I know it is a really popular comic series.
Yeah.
So be sort of interested to see what they do with it.
I really don't care.
Fair enough.
I just thought it was interesting, though. I mean,
you thought it was interesting, but don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
How does that work?
It's interesting. I don't care about the show that they're doing, but it's interesting that's something that will separate them from, you know, as they start getting more original television content, separating them from the Xbox One, who you know wants to be that all-in-one TV, games, sports, everything. Yeah. You know, it's another reason that, hey, if you've got original programming on the PS4, plus you can get your Netflix, plus Hulu, Amazon, all that stuff. It seems like that is going in the right direction versus, hey, we'll interface with your cable TV.
Yeah.
So that's where I care. I think that's a good move. I just don't care about the, you know.
You don't care about Powers.
Yeah. But I know I do understand that Microsoft is also going to have some original content as well. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really. It doesn't matter to me. Also, this week, Sony announced their GDC is this week. We haven't really talked about GDC, Game Developers
We're not
Convention.
game developers,
Yeah,
Dan.
I guess not.
That's why.
Project Morpheus, their VR headset, revealed some technical, some details and stuff on that baby.
Yeah. How many P's does that thing give you?
1080.
10. Nice.
1080p's.
Nice.
Now, is the Oculus at 1080 yet?
I don't know.
Because I know they weren't for some time, that they weren't at full 1080, I thought, but maybe they have it now.
Yeah.
I think this is actually kind of cool. I mean, virtual reality, I think overall in general is just going to be another fad. Like 3D televisions.
Right.
But it's still cool how Sony is creating their virtual headset, because I think they have a good setup for it as far as they have the camera.
Yeah.
They also have the motion controllers, which this is probably the reason why the motion controllers from the PS3 are compatible with the PS4.
Yeah.
And then using this headset, it's a nice setup.
Yeah.
Because I would rather hold the motion controllers than a regular controller using a VR headset.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then you'd have limb independence.
Sure. I think I feel like more of this is, like you said, it's sort of going to be like a fad. Everyone's coming out with their binoculars that you're going to wear for all these
big gaudy headset.
Yeah, like massive plastic things on your face. The one thing where it would start to become interesting to me and where I might actually consider purchasing it or something like this is, I don't have a lot of space, and it would be cool to have the experience of having like a 60-inch TV, but not need to have a section of my room dedicated to that. And if this comes out at a price point that is like significantly cheaper than a large scale television, but offers the same experience, then I can see myself being like, yeah, that might actually be worth it. If it's comfortable enough to wear for a long time, then I could see it. But not if it's coming out at like $1,000. Stuff like that.
I don't think it will. The rumor I've heard is that it will be $300. And it may come with a motion controller and the camera.
Yeah.
So it'll be like some sort of bundle, which if they do that, I think it'll be pretty successful. I think people will buy that.
Yeah. Again, it's got to be something though. I mean, like, people use their TVs for long stretches at a time, so it needs to be real comfortable on your head.
Yeah. I just think though, it'll be some sort of strain on your eyes, having a screen that close to your eyes, and I don't know that we'll be able to handle it. And plus, I bet like motion sickness, that kind of stuff will come into play, and headaches.
Mm-hmm. But this one, they specifically said that like this is not the like double viewed binocular thing that the Oculus Rift does, which splits the two views to give you that perception of depth. Like this is a screen that you'll be looking at.
Right. I mean, but the other one is still two screens. It's just two screens. It's kind of, I see it as like the difference between the two different types of microscopes.
Uh-huh.
You ever use a microscope?
I have used a microscope.
And they have the binocular microscopes, and then the single one,
the monox.
I don't know that it's going to make that big of a difference.
Power cables.
I heard on the Joystick podcast they used it at GDC, and they said the depth and everything was pretty awesome, and like it freaked them out a little. So
they didn't like it.
No, freaked them out in a good way. I guess the demos and things. They had mentioned that like the demo for the Oculus, they're all like virtual tours of beautiful spaces. And then the Sony demos were all like frightening as far as like you're in a cage and a shark is outside of that cage.
Oh.
And trying to break its way in. Things like that.
Interesting angle they took.
And it also sounds like that motion controller just adds like a cool new level of complexity to it that, you know, you can reach out with one hand and it actually feels like, you know, you see your hand.
Right.
Rather than just having that one controller in your hand, which would blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I'm not going to buy this.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand
really
that gaming is going to go in some new direction that we don't know, but I just do not think that virtual reality is going to be it.
Yeah.
I bet some people will have like a virtual reality room though.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just going to build this big room that's...
I had the rich friend in high school who like, he was the one person who had the Game Boy, the VR Game Boy. What was that called?
Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. Yeah.
That thing was stupid.
Yeah. The red, it was only in red.
Yeah.
Monocolor.
Yep.
Or monochromatic. Yeah.
Oh, Lawnmower Man. So, yeah, you read
one
pretty
other
cool
thing I just wanted to mention
article this week, huh?
Yeah, I just want to talk about this real quick. Like we've talked about this a bunch of times in the show. We are big Rogue Legacy fans, and the guys who made this, Teddy and Kenny Lee from Cellar Door, they had a cool talk at GDC talking about like their ways of cutting corners and as a small development team, like keeping things tight. And like they put out Rogue Legacy for less than 15,000
in 1 week.
Yeah.
I'm making that up. I don't know.
They made they made the game for less than 15,000, and then within like several hours of releasing it, they made up for those for the cost of producing the game. So it was interesting. They talk about different ways to like automatically generate levels as a way to like save money and not like specifically building all of these different dungeons. So,
yeah, I
just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, smart. I think smart design is a pretty cool philosophy for a lot of things that you're creating. I mean, I think with you and I, when we made a movie, it was all about how do we work within the budget that we can work within and make the effects that we want. And, it's something, I mean, if you really want to create something and create something of high quality, there are ways around, I guess cutting corners in a way, but not in a way that compromises the quality.
Right.
It's just
trying to work smartly within your confines.
So yeah, that is cool. Hopefully I look forward to whatever next they have that they're going to create.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. It's time for the retro game of the week.
Yeah.
Aaron, what is this week's retro game?
I can still hear music.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it.
I love that. I love that jam.
Oh, all right.
I was gonna say I really love the music.
Oh,
for this
okay.
Week. Yeah.
I can still hear the music. All right, I'll turn it off.
So the retro game of the week is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers for the NES. This was probably one of my most played games on the NES.
Really? Whoa!
I would say
that's a surprise.
Yeah. I should have bought this game many times over for as much money that we spent on late return fees or renting this from Hollywood Video. I almost like every weekend for a long stretch of time was like always wanting to rent this game. And I think, but I only got to Fat Cat, the last level once. So
Really?
I never actually beat the game, but I played it a lot.
This is one that I rented a couple of times because DuckTales. I loved DuckTales, and I beat that. And then I saw Chip and Dale was coming out, and I'm like, oh, sweet. Maybe it's more of the same action platforming kind of fun. And it was good. I will say it was good. It didn't hook me the same way that DuckTales did, but I did like this one a lot.
Yeah. You know, I thought it was really hard, but in a way that is sort of like Mega Man. Like, and Capcom also made this as well as Mega Man. But hard enough, but not so much that like I hated it because it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was right in that sweet spot.
And I loved the intro, the theme in that 8-bit. Boof, 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 boof,
Right.
boof. Wait, no, sorry, that was DuckTales.
Wrong game.
Whoops. I love DuckTales.
So yeah, that I think everybody, if you have an NES, you should do yourself a favor and find a copy of Chip and Dale Rescue
Now I'm
Rangers.
trying to remember. Did you play as both characters?
You could. You could play it was a two-player game potentially.
Oh, sweet. So a little co-op, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a good old school game, and it's unfortunate that, you know, that's one that's not available for digital download anywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of these games you have to like they did with DuckTales, they remastered it. I mean, that's your only hope of really playing it again. I'm sure that Disney license is also one of the reasons we may never play this again unless we have a Nintendo.
Right. And I mean, the reason why I even sort of saw this, or this came back on my radar, was I saw something on Twitter about somebody like reimagining a potential scene from Chip and Dale. And it was one of them carrying an apple and like sort of a little bit updated art. So it looked cooler, a little bit nicer than the original. But yeah, it really reminded me how much I was obsessed with this game.
The apple kind of goes way back to the old Chip and Dale cartoons, because there's one scene where I think it's Chip says he eats an apple and then he says, "Apple core, who's your friend?" And then Dale would say, "Whoever is his, I'm your friend." You know, he'd say, "I'm your friend," and then you whip the apple core at them. Oh, Chip and Dale.
That's how it works.
So yeah, we'll have some footage of Chip and Dale in the notes if you don't remember it, but it's a good classic game.
Yep.
So it's time for the weekly giveaway. Hey.
Another big one.
Yeah, a good one that I've been playing a bunch of. Tomb Raider. We're giving away Tomb Raider. Laura Croft and Tomb Raider. So if you want to win a copy of Tomb Raider, we'll be posting a message on Twitter. And just retweet, reply for your chance to win. We'll be giving it away next Friday.
Yeah, take it from us, please.
You know what? It's time for another musical break. All right, everybody. It's time for the question of the week. That little glitch in that song is kind of cool, too.
Yeah.
Question of the week. No, it's time for random stuff. Maybe I shouldn't skip my caffeine anymore.
Just a little bit in the morning.
Just at least on the day of the show, Dan. Have a little caffeine to be more alert and follow the show notes that you have right in front of you. So you can do two things at once. It's time for random stuff. You know, this week, my random stuff is cereal.
Cereal.
I love cereal.
Yeah.
I love kids' cereal. Like
Lucky Charms?
Like stealing cereal from a kid that's eating it.
Oh, like a child has it and
I just
you want it.
Yeah, grab it and eat it.
Yeah. It's like stealing cereal from a child.
Yeah.
Candy from a baby.
From a baby. Yes, I love kid cereal. My favorite cereal, like if I was playing Desert Island with cereal, it would be Cap'n Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
And I'm talking the
That's a
regular
good one.
stuff, not any of the Crunch Berry crap.
No peanut butter?
Oh, I do like me some peanut butter Cap'n Crunch, but I'm not going to take peanut butter Cap'n Crunch to a desert island with me. I'm taking regular golden nuggets of Cap'n Crunch.
Yeah, those are good.
You know why I would say that I would not take peanut butter Cap'n Crunch? Because another cereal that I would take with me is Reese's Puffs. It is better than Cap'n Crunch peanut butter.
Okay.
Reese's Puffs is amazing.
I didn't have it that much. Just a handful of times, but
the bad thing though about Cap'n Crunch is crunch mouth. Do you know what
when
that
it
is?
cuts your gums.
Yeah, it cuts you.
Yeah, because it's really hard and pointy
Yeah.
and delicious.
Well, and the texture of it too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think on the box it should say, "I'ma cut you."
I think it does if you look closely.
But I also
Captain.
love Lucky Charms, Super Golden Crisp, Fruity Pebbles. There's something about I gotta have my kids' cereals. That's kind of my treat. I try to eat a bowl of cereal rather than like a bowl of ice cream
Okay.
because it's a little bit better for you. A little 2% milk.
A little bit.
Yeah, I love cereal. I've been doing the healthy cereal thing a little bit more though in the morning. I'll have my Smart Start or my Honey Bunches of Oats.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, then if it's a treat, it's kids cereal.
Yeah, that was one of those things that like my mom would never let us have.
Really?
Was like the Captain Crunch or Lucky Charms, stuff like that. Like I think our occasional treat was sometimes we would
An
get
apple.
like corn pops or what is it, honeycombs. I love honeycombs actually.
Yeah, I love honeycombs too,
but yeah, I mean they're terrible for you. Let's be honest.
they're not
They're
terrible
full of
for
sugar.
you.
I mean, Lucky Charms is a bowl of marshmallows.
It's not like a cigarette.
No, but it's not good for you. I mean, there are plenty of better options, is what I'm saying.
It's neutral for you. Everything in balance. Everything in moderation.
If you could have a big bowl of Cheerios or a big bowl of marshmallows, then like one of them is bad for you and one of them is better for you.
No, not one is bad, one is better. I will say one is better for you, but that's not why I eat it. I eat it because it tastes good. I will say one tastes better than the other. Now, it's not going to hurt me. It's not like I'm going to get diabetes just from a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Right.
But yes, if you're going for health, it's all in what your purpose is. And no, I don't think a kid should just eat giant bowls of sugar all the time. So, but I also don't think a kid should never eat a giant bowl of sugar. Kid needs.
I didn't never have it. It was like more of a thing where, my mom tried to feed us like healthy stuff most of the time. And so when I would go over to some of my friends' houses, and they would have it, I would freak out and be so happy. I was like, yeah, I can finally eat this really.
And the other parents would look at you
cereal.
like, what is wrong? Why are you freaking out?
Can I have another bowl, please?
Yeah. Like,
so it was more of a treat for me than like a regular thing. So
I had, I would say that I had the sugar cereals, a few days a week and the cornflakes a few days a week. So it was a pretty good balance of it, but
yeah,
everything in moderation. Had a little bit of alcohol as a kid, just a little bit, just some whiskey.
Thanks, Mom.
For breakfast.
Pack that in your lunch pail.
But not too much, Aaron.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Just a bit.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cereal.
I love it.
Yeah. I want to ask you, do you still get nerves like before you record something? Not necessarily like just the podcast, but I know you do a lot of stuff at work, like recording podcasts there, as well as like teaching and training, stuff like that. Do you still feel like after all this time you get nervous before you do that kind of stuff?
No.
No, not at all.
There's a certain point. Well, okay, if it's something new, yes. Like if there's something I'm doing that, like for instance, doing this podcast, like the first handful of episodes, I felt some nerves on it, but not anymore. And I don't feel like at all with like presenting in front of people. Sometimes with presenting in front of people, I'll have a little bit. But if it's something I do regularly, no, not at all.
Yeah.
How about you?
Because I do, like, almost no matter what, like, of course I'll get better at it and I'll feel less nervous about doing some of these things. Like, at the start of the show, I'm still, like, of our show, a little bit nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of wears off as the show goes on.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, I'm a teacher, and I should like the first time I started teaching was when I was at MSU in the master's program, and like I was a proxy professor for one of my 3D classes, and I had like almost a panic attack like before the class started.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what am I doing here? Like, why should these people be listening to me? Like, really, it was bad. And I rode that out and got through that first class. And after that point, it was okay. But it was just like, holy crap, I had to like fight through that like terrible, terrible nervousness.
Wow. Yeah. I have classes that I facilitate at work about once a month for any of our new employees that are hired. And so it's all day with them. And in the morning, it starts out that I corral them and, basically break the ice for about 20 minutes. And I just never have any, like, I would say it's more about me generating the energy to give them the same 100% that I've given everyone the weeks before that than anything about nerves. It's just making sure that I have the energy, because it would be too easy to just walk. All right, guys, let's go. Come on. Welcome to Hayworth.
Yeah.
So, but no, I for something like that where I've got a routine and I feel, confident in that routine and confident in how they will react. I get classes though that they're like asleep, and it's like trying to get them to laugh or engage with me is a chore. But I never really take it personally. I just kind of like, all right, moving on.
Yeah. I go through a lot of that same kind of thing, especially teaching, not so much in elementary, but in middle school. The older kids are always, they just want to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's hard to get the energy higher than theirs to like make them want to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it's time for the question of the week. How do you feel about pre-orders and, say, Steam Greenlight programs? How do you feel, Aaron?
I feel weird. I mean, like we talked about earlier with your DF9 purchase. I wish like there was more of a discount for people kind of putting themselves out there and betting that you're going to make a good game. And but no, you're paying like basically the full price. I mean, you are going to get the whole game when it's done, but still, like you're risking money for them.
Now Steam Greenlight, you mean
not
early
necessarily
access?
The Greenlight program.
You mean early access, right?
Yeah, early access, not the Greenlight.
Yeah, Greenlight is just the voting program for what games will be available on Steam.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue, and I kind of see pre-orders and early access are kind of different. Like, say, pre-ordering Reaper of Souls, you kind of know you're getting a finished product then.
Yeah. And I've already played the game, basically.
Yeah. Oh, but, and then, I mean, still, though, like, I was going to pre-order Watch Dogs. When I bought my PS4, I got the Watch Dogs bundle. Yeah. And so I would have just, it was a blind purchase for a game I've never played before.
Yeah.
And that is there are different implications than with, say, early access. Because you are getting, for the most part, relatively speaking, a finished product. There will probably be patches afterwards, but it's a risk. It's a risk with both of them. I think for some reason, though, early access seems like more of a risk to me. I think it's just because you're giving them money already. So I think there's less of there's less motivation to finish a product and do it the right way when you already have the money. It gets harder, with anything.
Yeah.
It feels like there should just be a deposit or something rather.
Right.
Like, I'll give you, $750 now and $750 later.
Yeah. Once it's done, you'll get the rest of the
and
cash.
That's kind of what I do with like, freelance jobs. It's like you give me a 50% deposit now.
Sure.
And that's guaranteeing that you're going to employ my services and, and then once I deliver the finished product, I'll get the rest from you.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they'd do something more like that.
Yeah. I agree.
I was going to see how long that silence would go.
I just spent, $40 on getting the pre-order for Reaper of Souls, but again, that was something that I knew that I was going to play because I already played through Diablo 3. It's going to be the same basic gameplay. Of course, there's going to be changes to it. But
it's a safe bet.
I kind of have a problem. If there's a totally new game that you're pre-ordering and you have to give them $60 for it, because that comes up on Steam as well. Like, you can, for the Stick of Truth, like, you could have pre-ordered and put like $60 down for that. You're not going to get that money back if you're like, well, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So,
but is there an instance where in that case though, you're saying you feel a little safer that you can read a couple of reviews then about a game,
right?
Because you're still buying
a little bit.
Yeah, you're still buying a game without playing it if you just go buy a new game. But if you've gotten to do a little research on whether a game is good or not, then you feel a little more secure, like that it's not as much of a risk. Like in general, people like this.
Yeah, if I'm really excited about a game that's coming out, like, I still probably won't go out and buy it like at midnight. Like, I'll want to see a couple reviews that don't say it's just hot garbage.
Yeah. I would say that there's very few games that I would buy day one. There are games though that I would. Okay. I'd say like Destiny, that's coming out for the PS4. That will probably be a day one purchase.
Okay.
Watch Dogs will probably be a day one purchase for me.
Yeah.
So there's a couple, but not that many. Because I don't really care about, I can wait a couple days just to be able to read a few reviews on a game. So we'll be posting this question on Twitter as well, and send us an email. Let us know what you think, or tweet us, or whatever you like to do. It's time for closers and plugs, everyone.
Yeah, so you can respond to our question of the week.
Closers and plugs.
Please tell us, how do you feel about pre-orders or early access programs? You can email us at podcast@uphshow.com.
Our Twitter handle is @uphshow.
Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/UPH show.
If you want to be lulled to sleep again in future weeks, subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. Rate and review us, please.
We've also got a Steam group, Unbelievable Power Hour.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see our faces. They're pretty. They're so pretty. And we promise we'll have caffeine next week. So we're a little more energetic. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.